August 6th, this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topics are Taiwan is not part of China and President Tsai's determination of anti-corruption. First, I want to talk about Taiwan is not part of China. This is a message to China. Taiwan is a sovereign and independent country. China, stop finger-pointing Taiwan. In regards to the visit of the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, Chinese Foreign Minister spokesperson Wang Wenbin opposed to U.S. and asked the United States to abide the One China principle. He kept saying, One China, One China. Apparently, China is very angry about it. But I have to say, what is the matter with you? Can't you recognize that Taiwan is a sovereign and independent country? Just, like what former President Lee Teng-hui said in Japan's NHK interview that China is China and Taiwan is Taiwan. Why is China so angry? Well, might be you will be very curious about it. I think because Azar's visit to Taiwan has several significance. A, this is the highest level visit by an American official since 1979, U.S. and Taiwan breaking ties, and Azar's visit is just a beginning. B, after the closure of both U.S. and China consulates, Azar's visit to Taiwan is just like a slap in China's face. As I mentioned yesterday, if James Sohm takes over the position of chairman of the Taiwan Strait Exchange Foundation, there might be a chance for cross-strait dialogue. However, I don't think so now, because China has always insisted that Taiwan is part of China, and this is wrong and totally wrong. What I want to emphasize is that only if China stops suppressing Taiwan, then there might be a possibility for Taiwan and China to start a dialogue again. The responsibility is on China, not on Taiwan. Second issue I want to talk about, President Tsai's determination of anti-corruption. President Tsai, also known as the chairman of DPP, said something serious in the DPP Central Executive Committee yesterday. She said that when the DPP was in power last time, there were some comrades involved in fraud cases, and it took 8 years to remove the label of corruption. Thus, she said that the DPP can no longer be corrupt. Otherwise, the continuation of the 2024 regime will be a difficult challenge. Well, I think it is a very strong gesture for President Tsai to reaffirm her determination of anti-corruption. There are several points. A, President Tsai's speech directly pointed out that former President Chen Shui-bian was involved in corruption. Her so-called the last time the DPP was involved in fraud cases was referred to Chen Shui-bian's second term in 2006. Well, after that, KMT's Ma Ying-jeou won the presidential elections in 2008 with high votes, and Tsai Ing-wen took over the position of party chairman to carry out the reforms. B, Tsai Ing-wen's victory. In 2014, the DPP won the first election of the 9-in-1 election, and Tsai Ing-wen was elected as president in 2016. In 2020, Tsai Ing-wen was re-elected for her second term. But the problem is, will the DPP be like what the KMT said, fully in power and completely corrupt? President Tsai said no. However, Su Zhenqing, the nephew of former Secretary General to the President Su Jiaquan, was taken into custody because of the briberies. It was a big hit to a DPP. C, also talking about as a presidential elections in 2024, well, I think DPP still had the biggest chance of winning because the KMT's cross-strait policy is a big problem, and so does Taipei Mayor Ke Wen-je. And who will represent the DPP to run for the presidential elections in 2024? Well, I think Vice President Lai Ching-te, Taoyuan Mayor Zheng Wen-can, and even the well-respected CCC head Chen Shizhong are all possible candidates. But it is still too early to talk about that. Here are the top stories. Today, we have one confirmed case. He's a man in his 60s, returned from South Africa. In response to the U.S. highest representative's visit to Taiwan, China warns of dangerous DPP collusion with the United States. The spokesperson of the Taiwan Affairs Office of the State Council, Ma Xiaoguang, said that. He said the DPP's attempt to collude with the U.S. to seek political gains at the expense of the common interests of the compatriots across the Taiwan Straits are doomed to fail. Also, the Chinese Foreign Minister spokesperson Wang Wenbin made a strong statement, and he said that we urge the U.S. to adhere to the One China principle and the 3 joint communiques, stop making official interactions of any kind with Taiwan, and not to send any wrong signals to Taiwan independence elements. Look, as I said earlier, he kept saying one China, right? And furthermore, Chinese state media CCTV also published an article to criticize Taiwan and U.S. And the title is DPP Did Dangerous Things Again and Colluding with the United States. What the contents are, they said, the DPP has been pursuing the dangerous route of approaching the U.S. Against China since they have a power in hand in 2016. They have even been brown-nosing the United States more and more each year. The U.S. are willing to control Taiwan for the U.S. self-interest, as Taiwan are like a chess piece, highly coordinated. But I think the United States just doesn't buy it. The U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo fell back and said Azar's visit was consistent with the policies of previous time. He also said the United States cabinet members have traveled to Taiwan in the past. Azar is going to there, with a deep and important purpose. We are still in a global pandemic. Taiwan has had some significant success in its response to COVID-19. Besides that, U.S. Senator Marco Rubio tweeted that this is a great news and in line with my Taiwan Travel Act that President of the United States signed in 2018. Taiwan is an important democratic partner and also has been an example to the world on how to handle COVID-19. We'll look forward to more high-level USG, United States government officials traveling to Taiwan. Additionally, the New York Times published an article. The title is U.S. Health Secretary Visit Taiwan Might Anger Beijing. They wrote, the trip threatens to further fuel tensions between the U.S. and China, with diplomatic ties reaching their lowest point since the two countries normalized relations more than 4 decades ago. After U.S. President Donald Trump set a deadline by September 15 for TikTok to find a U.S. buyer, Microsoft might spend $30 billion to buy TikTok. Microsoft plans to finish the acquisition talks with TikTok within the next 3 weeks, ahead of the September 15 deadline. And the deal could, worth up to $30 billion, which is $900 billion. At last, I would like to share with you that Taiwan Digital Minister Audrey Tang, Tang Feng, was giving an interview to BBC again. She shared about how democratic Taiwan combat coronavirus, soap, hand sanitizer, civic technology, and plenty of trust between government officials and citizens. Amplify social innovations truly is fast, fair, and fun. Well, that will be the view for today. How's your day? I hope everything is fine. I'm Catherine Chang. You have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.